Hi, welcome back. In the last session, we have understood how to create a user account and we can do a login with that account. Now we have not generated any welcome email or a verification email. So to send an email, we need to understand how we are going to send the mails inside the Laravel. So for this, we are going to send an email which will actually verify the user account. So you may have seen, like, whenever you are going to sign up on Amazon or let's say another websites or web applications like Facebook or Gmail, so they send you an email to verify, like, the recovery account. In the case of Gmail, so they send an email on the recovery account to verify that the account is email ID is correct. Or when you sign up on Amazon, so whenever you are generating up like an order, so they send you the emails etc related to that order, so they need to verify whether the email is correct or not. So for that it's called as a verification email. So if I relate this thing with the PHP, we would have to write up a lot of code to send an email, or we can use the existing functions, right, for the sending of the mail. But in Laravel, they have given us a lot of customization. You can create the mail with the HTML view, or you can write up the mailables, use the existing custom components of Laravel Mailables Markdown. So let's see how we are going to send an email to the user who is going to register. This would be a video where we would be talking about only the mails, right, sending mail. Now the standard process to send the email, like whether we should send it at the real time like synchronous or asynchronous in the background, so this we will discuss later when we will be working on the events, jobs and queues. So right now let's start our code to write an email to the user. Okay, so the first thing is we have to generate a mail. Okay, we have to generate a mail. How to generate a mail? Let's go to the terminal. I'll go to the folder trainings Laravel blog. So PHP artisan make mail. Now here you are going to create a mail class, right? A mail class which will accept the details that what mail you want to send, what type of mail you want to send, whether it is an HTML or a text mail, right? It has the default values also. It has the default values. So first it will create this class PHP artisan make mail, and I'll write a name for this mail. Let's call it as verification email verification mail. Okay, mail is created. Now where can I find this mail? In the app mail folder, and here you can find the email verification mail, right? And you can see there are certain contracts being implemented. You can implement like should queue. So as I said, the queue part we will discuss later. So this is a class email verification email which is returning up a view, right? And it is having, you can pass the view name. So this view name will be the template for this particular mail. Okay, and how are we going to send this mail? When are we going to send this mail? So this mail will be sent when user is registering, right? Register controller. And when we save the data, before this you are going to send the verification email to verify the email address. Okay, so we have this email address and we are going to send the mail on this. Now what happens when user will get the email? That mail will contain a link, right? Mail is going to contain the link. When user clicks on that link, it is again coming back to our application, and we'll have the code that if the mail which user has sent is correct, I mean the request, the link he has clicked and the token which I passed inside that mail is valid, then we are going to mark the user as verified. So here inside the users table, you will see that we have a email verified at option column, right? Email verified at column. So this would be accepting a timestamp that at this time the user has verified his email. So let's do something over here. Send the verification email, and our mail is created, right? And I need a view. But before sending the email, remember, you also need the SMTP details, right? Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, SMTP. So we need the SMTP server details. You can also use your Gmail account, right? I'll let you know that where you can fill those details, but let's create up a quick view over here. So to create the view, you cannot create the view from the terminal. For this, we'll go to the resources folder, views, and here I'll create a new folder called as emails. So all the emails will go in this folder. I write a new mail, verify-email.blade.php. Okay, so HTML verify email. Let's write the body over here, and I'll call h3. Thanks for signing up. And here he can click on the button or link. Call verify your email. Okay, I'm just writing up some text. So verify your email by clicking here, and we'll put the href equals some route. Okay, so I need to give the name of this route, but we'll go and create the route. So the flow is, when user comes and registers, you save the data inside the database and you send the mail to that user. Okay, so the execution will go to the email verification mail class, where it is going to pick up all the information and it will render this view, right? If any data is required, for example, I want to pass the username. I want to pass the username to this email. Okay, for example, here we write, let's go and write in the heading form saying h3 hello and $name. Okay, so I want to greet the user and then pass him the message. So he clicks on this link. Now, how will you get this name over here? For this, you need to pass the username to the email verification mail class, and from here it would be available for the view. So I'm going to create a variable here, $. I'll create a public variable. Remember, all the public variable created inside your Mailable class. This is also called as Mailable class. So Mailable class would be available inside the resource in the views. You don't have to pass them using compact or anything. All the public variables are available inside the view. If you want that particular variable should not be available inside the view, there shouldn't be any conflict, so you can mark it as a private variable which is used only inside this class, right? But here we need it inside our verify email. So I'm going to accept the user object. Okay, I'm going to accept the user object, and I'll say $this name equals $username. So I'm going to accept when I'm passing the when I'm creating the object of email verification mail, I'll pass the user object to the constructor of this class, right? And using that, I will initialize my name variable. Since it is public, I'll be able to access it inside my view. So let's pass it over here. I'm going to say mail. Mail is again a class facade, and I'll call the to method where I'll write. So I need to pass the user object, right? You can pass the email also. Suppose if you want, if you have a list of emails only, you don't have the user object, so don't worry about that. You can pass the email also, and you can pass the user object. From user object it will pick the email ID, right? So we can do it either way. So mail to user email, and further I'm going to say send. And what are we going to send? We are going to send the email verification mail, right? And here we have to pass the user object. So now see, mail class you are using and you are sending the mail to this user, but where is the other information of the mail? It is the new verification email, inside the new verification email. Now here I can add some more information. For example, I want to give the subject of the mail, right? I want to give the subject of the mail. So you can call the subject function, and inside this I can say verify your email. If you're not writing this subject method, then the name of this class will go as the subject by default. Okay, the name of this class will go as the subject. So from, now who is sending this mail? Let's suppose if you want to give some other name than the default which is configured, so you can use the from method where you have to pass the address and the name. Okay, I'll put some hard-coded data over here from, let's say, jaswinder@test.com, and the name is Jaswinder. Okay, fine. So we have the subject, from, and view. I expect that the mail would be sent, right? We have not yet created the link. If you see, the link is not yet created, we will create that as well. And what actually that link will do is also very important. We need to understand that. So register controller is good, which will send the email. Just check if the mail is included. Yes. And user email is passed. Send method is passing the instance of the mailable, and it is accepting the user object, because here we have passed it as an instance. It is accepting as a parameter, and our view is also created. Now we need to work on this route. So I'll go to the web.php, and this should be a guest endpoint, because when user is going to click on the mail CTA, the call action, so now click to action, and in that case the link will be coming to our web application. Right now at that moment the user may be logged in or may not be logged in. So if you are making up a guest account, that is fine, or if you are making it behind auth, then the user may have to go and log in it to actually get that token matched and get your account verified. So we need one endpoint here, so which will verify the email. So here I'll say route. It will be a get, because it will be coming as a hyperlink. So here I'm going to call it as email hyphen verify, and I need a controller which is going to verify which will write the logic for verifying your email. So let's call it as verify email controller. Put it as an array, colon class, oops, not underscore invoke. Okay, let's look at one new thing over here with the controllers. Now, unlike other controllers, when I'm writing up a method, right, I'm not writing a method name in this controller. Why? Because this is a special use controller used for single action. I'm not going to do any other action in this, so there is no need of writing multiple methods. I'll write only one method inside this controller. Okay, but let me generate this controller first, because it is not yet created. So we will create it PHP artisan make controller verify email controller. Oh, we got some error. Actually what it is doing, it is verifying this code also. Now it is created. Clear my screen, uncomment this and include it. Okay, so now how to write the code inside this verify email controller, because as I said, I'm not going to include any method over here. So it will contain a default method which actually will execute whenever this endpoint is called, right? So whenever you are creating up a controller for special use, right, or a single use, single method, so you can write it as public function. You can use a method evoke. Okay, evoke. Rest everything is same. You can pass the request object or a form request class. Everything is same. You can write the logic inside the method. Only difference is you are not specifying this method inside your web.php. Okay, so let's go and give a name to it. Name verify underscore or verify dot email. Okay, so copy this, go to your web view, and here I have to specify this. Route. Okay, so let's first check whether my mail is actually being sent or not, right? Still there is a lot of logic to write, like you have to create a token because we need to identify like which user has clicked on the email, right? And here I need to write some code to verify the the user who clicked on the email is this particular user, and we'll update his records. Fine. Okay, what's next? Like before writing up that logic for verifying the user, we need to send that email. Okay, everything we have done related to sending the mail. We have written the mail view, we have created the Mailable class, but something is missing, and that is sending the writing the details of your SMTP server. Okay, so here you can use the SMTP server. You can create some fake SMTP servers also. Nowadays we have a service called as Mailtrap, right? Mailtrap. So Mailtrap is used for email testing, and you can sign up. You can sign up an account on this. So I'll use my Google account. Right, so it is created over here. Fine, and it will show some credentials, and we can use these credentials, right? You don't need to copy these credentials. I will reset them, and this is a free account, so you can sign up on mailtrap.io. Okay, so I need this host. I'll update it inside my mail host key variable in the environment file. And then this is the username, updated mail underscore username, password, then encryption we can use TLS. Okay, so the mail port can be 587. So mailer is SMTP, host is SMTP. Host means the server to which you are going to request, the mail server to which you are going to request to send your mail, right? And this is your username. So in case if you want to send an actual email and check, so here you can use the smtp.gmail.com, right? Instead of mail host, you can use this one, and the username can be your Gmail ID. Okay, and password would be your Gmail password, and rest other details can be same. Here you want to send the default like mail from address and the name from where you are sending. So here it is going to pick up the Laravel mail from name. Okay, let's save this, and we want to register the user now. In case if there are any errors, we will resolve them at the real time. Let's go and run our server, PHP artisan serve. Okay, localhost. So I think the endpoint was sign up. Let me quickly verify it. We will create the links. We'll create a menu for like clicking on login and register thing. So I need to go to the web.php. Right, it was a register actually. Fine, so we are going to register. I'll use my name, just win that 2 at test.com, and this is a fake email ID, and I won't be receiving any mail on this, and this is a fake SMTP server also, so it will not send the mail actually on this email ID. It's just a simulation kind of thing. The mail would be displayed over here only in this account, and password I'll select as 126, register. So here we got some error. The error is view.name not found. The actual error is inside the Mailable class, where we have not updated the view name. So the view name is emails dot verify hyphen email. Okay, now I may need to go and update the or remove the user, because I have already added the unique constraint on the email column. So I'll delete this record. Now we will also learn that if there is any error, how can we roll back the data. So we'll learn it later. Refresh this. Okay, looks like the mail is being sent. It is taking time, you can see. That's why we always prefer sending the emails in the background. So right now the account is created, the mail has been sent. I can check the mail inside the Mailtrap account. Let's refresh this. So you can see the subject is verify your email. We can check the subject over here, the email ID of the user, correct, and hello. So Jaswinder, that is the name we have sent inside the view, and thanks for signing up. Verify your email by clicking here. So when I'm going to click over here, it will only take me to that particular endpoint. It is not going to show any like user details, etc. This, so here from this point we'll be adding up a token at this point, right? So let's suppose if I have a token. Now we need to generate this token, save it somewhere inside the database, so that when user is clicking on this link, right, based on this token I can identify like which user it is, right, who is the user, and then I can verify him. So let's keep it simple. What we'll do is we will generate one one second, where is my database? Yeah, so we are going to generate one column, and I'll save a string token inside it, right? There are various methods. Might be you can create a separate table to save the tokens, etc. But I'm not going into the architecture level right now. I'll just create a simple column over here inside this users table, where I'll save like email verification token, and once that is verified, I'll update this email verified at column, and I'll null the token part. Okay, so let's go and create a new migration. PHP artisan make migration add underscore column table users hyphen table is equal to users. So this will create the migration. Let's go to the database folder, migrations, and here is my migration. So I'll add a table column string, and I'll say email underscore verify underscore token, and I want to keep it as nullable, because once the token is verified, I'll remove this token, right? Once the account is verified, I'll remove this token. And next I will drop this column in the rollback part, drop column. Okay, run the migration, PHP artisan migrate. Fine. So we have this table column generated. Let's refresh this. It would be coming at the end, email verify token. Okay, now whenever a new user is going to register, I want to update that token also. So the first thing you need to do is, whenever you create a new column and you are going to use the fillable the mass assignment, always ensure that you update that inside the fillables. So email verify token column, and update this data over here. So I'll say $payload. So here I will use a str facade. This is basically going to use the string helper functions. So Laravel and PHP are providing a lot of helper functions, right? So helper functions of PHP are being used by Laravel, and it is providing through this string facade, and I can access these methods. I don't have to write up the logic for creating up my own random value. So I can use these helper functions. So I'm going to generate a random value, right? And I will pass the length to it. So I want a length of, let's say, 40 characters. Okay. So the token would be generated. This would be a mixture of the characters, the numbers, uppercase, lowercase, right? So a token would be generated, and this token will be used inside our view, right, in the link. So I need to pass the link over here. So to generate this token, or to generate this link, it would be somewhat like this: HTTP localhost, or let's say server/verify email/ and it will go as the token over here. Okay, so let's update our routes. Verify, email verify, and here it will be token. So this is called as a URL parameter, right? This is called as URL parameter. Something new again over here. This is called as URL parameter. Now this parameter needs to be passed inside the route also, right? Else it will be incomplete. It will generate as an error. So I need to pass the token inside this email verify, and also I need to fetch this token in my verify email controller. So I'll fetch it over here, $token. Okay, so based on this $token, I am going to check who is this user. So let's learn a lot of new things today. URL parameter, then special like use controller. Then now we are going to put some filter on our user model to fetch that first record which is matching this token. So user, I'm calling this where function, where I'll pass the column name, that is email verify underscore token. Let me verify it with the column also, email verify token. Yes, that is correct. Okay, and where the email verify token is equal to this token, verify that record and get me that first record, right? Don't use get over here, else it will return a collection, multiple records, right? Or an array of records. Even if it is one, it will return in the format of array, but we don't want that array. We want only the single object, right? So this is going to give me the user object. If the user object is existing, right? If the user object is existing, that means the token is valid and we can mark the user as, so here we'll say we can mark the user as verified. So now if I'm saying that if not user, this means that the user is not existing. If user not existing, if user is not existing, then what to do? If user is not existing, we can throw some error, right? We can show some error message. And if the user is existing, we can say user, because we have got this user object, right? Now I can go and make the changes inside this user object. So I can say user email underscore verify underscore at equals carbon class colon. Now what is carbon? Carbon is a date library, right? So when you are going to use the date and time manipulations or checking the difference of date and times, you can use the carbon library. Very good, very efficient, and it is giving you a lot of functions, right, to make calculations on the dates. So carbon now, that means it will return the current timestamp to be saved inside the email verify at column, and we can save this user object, right? Once you save this, you can redirect the user to the login page so he can log in. So return, or I can return a message. Simple, let's return a message. Now you know how to redirect to the view or redirect to some other route, right? So you can do that. So here I'm going to return a simple text message, email verified. Okay, and in this case, if the user is not existing, so I'm not going to tell that user is not existing, right? Because from somewhere he got the token. So I'm going to say that token is expired. Token is verification. Token is verification mail is expired, right? So we'll not give the hint to the user whether this account is existing or not. If he wants to sign up, that is a different thing, right? So we'll keep the limited response over here, that he came to verify the account. If we are not finding the user, so we are just telling that verification mail is expired. Maybe that token has been removed, user is existing, but token has been removed, right? So he can request for the new email. So here you can might be if let's say user is not available, or he can go and write to webmaster. So those all things can be discussed later, that how he will get the second mail. So now email verified is done. Let's run this thing, right? Let's run this thing, but before that I need to pass the token to my mail route here. So now at this point you need the token, right? Where will I get the token? Again, I'll go back to my email verification mailable, and here I can say public $token. Initialize the $this token equals $user email underscore verify underscore token. Okay, so this name, username, this token, user email verified token. So things look good, and now token can be used here. So I'll pass the token variable. Okay, so let's quick test it inside the browser. I'll close all these files, create a lot of confusion for me. Okay, so let's go to the register page. Jaswinder 3. Okay, so once I register, it will generate that token and it will send the mail. So let's go to the database, refresh it, and here the token is generated. Okay, now I expect that the mail would also have been delivered. Yes, few seconds ago. So content is fine, but we need to check whether the link is generated correctly. And you can see on the left bottom, right, you can see localhost 8000 email verify, and the token is being generated. I'll copy this. I'll copy the link address, put it over here inside the new tab. So you can see this is the token, right? Now as soon as I press enter, the request will be going to this server, which is our local server, to this endpoint email verify, right? And this is the token. So this token will be passed to the token will be passed to the parameter, right? And this value will be passed to the token variable here. Fine. And then we are fetching the token using the email verified, comparing it with the email verified token column. And once we get the user, so we are going to update the email verify at column, email verified at. I need to quickly correct this. Yes, this is a server side changes. So even when I have not clicked on the URL, right, that is fine. If I click it, now the request will come, and since it is updated, it will be correct. So now user save and then return email verified. So if I get the message email verified, at that point this column should be updated. Email verified should be updated, right? Enter and email verified. Let's refresh this, and here you can see the timestamp is also updated. Okay, so now when the user is going to log in, we can check that whether the user is verified or not. If he is verified, right, if he is verified, then we can show him the his account, his dashboard, everything. But if he is not verified, we can pass an error. So here the first check the credentials. If credentials are good, right, so credentials are valid, so here we can go and check this. If so, now I'll say I need to get the user. right? I need to get the user. So because I have used the attempt, that means the session has been generated. So I can get the user with the auth class user method. Okay, so I'm going to get the logged in user. Get the logged user, right? So you have got the logged user. This will return the user object, the user model object. And now here we are going to get the, we are going to check that if user email underscore verified underscore at. So I'm going to put it as if it is not, right? If it is not, then we can again return the message from here itself. Okay, so we can return a response from here itself, and we can pass it to the return redirect route, and we can pass the message redirect route login. Okay, so it will show the login page to the user, but along with that you can do one thing. You can send new email to user for verification. So this is like at the discretion of the user, I mean the client, whether he wants to send the email whenever user is trying to log in and his account is not verified, right? If he tries 2-3 times, that means like multiple mails can go to that user. So that is not a good practice. Maybe you can think of the process, the flow, that when should we send the verification email. One, you are sending it at the registration time, right? But let's suppose he has not verified and you are going to log in, the user is going to log in, you are going to keep on sending him again and again the verification emails. The user customer might also get irritated, right? So think about it. And yeah, so we are done for the today's session. We have learned how to send the mail, right? Using Mailables. There is also one more option over here. You can use the markdown, right? We'll see it later. Practice with sending the mails as an email verification, and we have seen how to write the Mailable class. We need to still learn how to send the mails in the background, right? By using jobs and queues. You also understood how to write a controller for a specific purpose, so use evoke method. You also saw how to use the URL parameters. So a lot of things will be seen in every session. Like as we are going to advance in this training program, we'll see a lot of new things. And please follow the YouTube channel, subscribe it, and share it with your colleagues who are trying to learn Laravel. In future, we are going to bring a database course for SQL, MySQL, where we will be learning up the basic queries, handling up the database, and some advanced queries also. So that's all for today's class. Thank you everyone. Bye.